That.
Yeah, put his tongue in a hole. Fire for that. Stop right there. Why you stirring the sound with your pinky? You're moving fish it. Lava splash. Stop right there. Whatever you love, peel man banana. Lava splash. You're getting too comfortable with them shape there. Freeze. I know you want really should be in your mouth. You dirty bungle, you. Take it out. You carry on, but you can't hide. Shit.
That. I just have one question for you. Why are you gay? I am not gay. I am a straight man. Are you Mr. or... Who says I'm gay? You are gay. Why is it that...
Suck your mom, yeah, I said it, suck your mom.
Suck your mother and die.
Level the spirit. The spirit is level. Angels are guiding me. I do not follow no devil. Ready my gang on the level. I do not bang heavy metal. I'm guiding a new generation. My sound is a rebel.
Where there's tribal sound, and in the air where the tribal sound, terminal, tribal sound, Big Bass Spidey, the tribal, where there's tribal, jeez!
You see me, I ain't watching you, watching her.
Where there's Africa, got to take them to Africa. Where there's Africa, got to take them on a trip, on a journey. Whoa. Where there's Africa,
don't mix
got to
it.
take them to Africa.
Don't mix
it's like,
hey, Spidey, don't mix it. Hold on. I'm like,
and again.
Hold on.
Hey, stepper, that's that one way. That's it way.
Can you hear that roar? Stand clear of the door. Luggage overhead, everybody on board. Take off time on Terminal 4. And can you hear that roar? Stand clear of the door. Luggage overhead, everybody on board. Take off time on Terminal 4. Hiya!
I am a money maker, hand to the edge of a money maker. For one time, you're a money maker. If you're on this train, money maker. Hand to the air, money maker. For one time, money maker. On this thing, money maker. You see us terminal. You see me. I ain't watching you, I ain't watching him. I got to dance and bubble and sing. Terminal 4 with a terminal 3. Terminal 4 with a cloud goes. When you come to my house, just respect my house. Don't let my house. Somebody out of the house. When you come to my house, just respect my house. What's wrong with it? Hold on. I'm like, no. I'm like, yeah. Play sleep, hold on. Play wiggy, hold on. I'm like, no. I'm like, yeah. Can I please have your attention? I said, this is the captain's weekend, and I'm in the Terminal 4. Can I please have your attention? Early.
Oh my God. But the buck. Look.
If it's you, your mother, you get started just like Saga. Keep fighting, that's what I'm bad at. I think working perfect.
Come through with the beat up on ya. You find the hundreds like 90 under. With the mic and the right, the rhythm, cause I spit the fire just like downstairs. I'm a lyrical invader. I'm into the top just like Vader. You give me nobody can save ya. On the mic, man, I way too major. Shocking them cheese like Blanca. I got money in the mic, I'm a banker. You got money in the mic, you're a wanker. Look, people the hooks like bullrope. Get the rate to jumping like a bullfrog. I was doing her more than a while. Getting the culture like Gyro. With the shit like Tyson. Don't see you getting a cycle. Now you don't wanna get into no big man please. I'm here. If you wanna lyrical boy, I'm that nicer. I'm you like the nicer.
Weed him along, jump on the track like I'm nobody's son. Make a MC call out my name for the promo. I ain't got to talk, I've already won, say nothing. I will just rise up something. Man, I run a Gaza, but we'll get gully. Pop it off, you will get peppered and curried. When man say beef, I'm ready to cook something, that's right. Pass me my knife and fork. Eat MCs like I ain't been fed. Copper and lead from the Eagle and Hawk. I don't know what man thought, but it's cool, cause if man never knew that it's crunch time now. 4 or 5, you made up like lunchtime now. Here's the essence, if man want test it, I'll slap one ton of man upside down. So much corn in your head like ow. Tear off piece of your face like wow. Where I'm from, we don't chat to police, them man are probably chatting to the feds right now. Carbine for an informer, come to your ends and corner pick corner. I'm about 6'1", but you see my machine makes me look a little piece taller.
One from your jaw.
Jungle shape.
Move your one from your jaw.
Bigfoot.
Move your one from your jaw.
Shape bad.
Move your one from your jaw.
Miss Grippy.
Move your one from your jaw.
Tight wall.
Move your one from your jaw.
Pony wool.
Move your one from your jaw.
Pony yang.
Move your one from your jaw.
Nani wool.
Move your one from your jaw.
Ming yang.
Move your one from your jaw.
Wine again.
Wine up your body from the fire. Try pussy girl cocky call you. Baby,
it's how we want you know.
wine up your time pussy from the fire. If I'm chilly then like banana. Wine.
Hate on my people, I can't stand for it. Everybody got a phone so they capture it. I cried to my eyes red like cranberry. You see this statue, we dismantled it. Now they're trying to say we're on some gangster shit. You see this thick hair, can't untangle it. You know this chocolate sweet like Cadbury. Let me tell you what happened in silence. When I was in Blackpool, they called me a black cunt. Let me tell you what happened in silence. Worked at Selfridges, black girls were no good. And my colleagues said to me, black girls, they give all the white girls bad looks. Does my face intimidate you? I'm in a good mood where I acting shook. Let me tell you what happened in silence. When I was in the office and I thought I was too hood. Let me tell you what happened in silence. I was in Plymouth police, that's if I sold drugs. Let me tell you what happened in silence. I was in Southport and I got a big uppercut. Let me tell you what happened in silence. I was only 10 years old and I couldn't stand up. I was only 10 years old and I couldn't stand up. She called me a little nigga, now my top lips cut. If doing nothing was a crime, then a black girl was. If doing nothing was a crime, then a black girl. Now we can't.
Come on, yaka. They in the blood clot bends like Spragger. One bag of weed and mama clock grabber. One bag of gal like Shabba. Lord, one bag of gal that get dagger. Lord, lick the gal them with the hammer. Lord, make the gal bar for the mama. Lord, make a rough gal bar like Jejo. I'm a clear. You can go around, you dickheads. Yeah, man, so walk on, what's popping? Yeah, it's how you mean? Cheaply up. Come on. How you mean? Yeah, man. So, new rules. If your name ain't got a number that's connected to your life, you don't get a shout out. Register caller. So if you want your name on the register, slap your name. Yeah. Slap your like number next to your name and type it in the chat. Yeah. Alright. Let me see if I can. Yeah, mate. So, shout out Randy Bennett. There. Yeah, mate. Yeah, man. You gotta You gotta put your light number if you want to shout out. Like Simon Harrison did it. Come on. Hold tight. Man like Smiley, you know. There you are. How you mean? Come on. Come on. Jam. Come on. Alright, Steve the piano, there you are. How you mean? Everything is everything. How you mean? Come on. Yeah, man. You gotta stick to the rules, right? If you wanna shout out, you gotta put your number down still. So, who remembers last time Trump lost? You remember what them man did when Trump lost last time? Lord! Yo, they ran up on the White House. You hear me? And then they tried to turn the lights out. What's my name? You hear me? How you mean? Then they tried to run up on the White House and then they tried to turn the lights out. How you mean? Yeah? Yo. Oh, man. Yeah, man. We ain't even got long, you know, so let it play.
Fight for Trump! Fight for Trump!
More than 1,000 rioters have been convicted, just part of the election lie chaos. Trump filed 64 lawsuits and lost 63. Lawyer Rudy Giuliani moved to bankruptcy after falsely forged election workers of fraud. Paid $787 million to settle a suit that said Fox knew it was lying about the election. And Trump was indicted in Georgia. He's pleaded not guilty to election interference, but 4 co-defendants did plead guilty to related charges.
So, yeah, that was the last time Trump lost, yeah? The man then ran up on the White House. They told lies on the news. Imagine them lie on the news. How you mean? They lied on the Bomberclat news, you know? Yo, that's like BBC lying about an election result, saying that it's basically like, yeah, ITV saying that the Conservatives should have won, and we've got evidence for election fraud when they know that they didn't. Know what I mean? That. So hopefully Trump loses. Yeah. So that is. Yo, hey, my bad. Mossad's on to me still. You hear me? Mossad's on to me, Kaz. Mad. Alright, yeah, man. So hopefully Trump loses to Kamala. Yeah, we know Democrats are pagans too, yeah? But they're less pagans than Republicans. God damn! I hope and pray. How you mean? Yeah, man, I'm praying to the atheist, to the black atheist God, yeah? That Trump loses and get mashed down, man. Ban Trump, cuz. How you mean? Racist ass Trump. Alright, so next up we got BAM! Let it play.
For the former Yugoslavia, just 4 months to issue an indictment against Serb leaders Radovan Karadzic and Ratko Mladic over the massacre of Muslim men and boys in Srebrenica. Mladic filmed himself telling Muslims that they would be safely transported out of Srebrenica. He told a terrified bus of transportees that he was giving their life back to them. It was all smoke and mirrors. In fact, what happened at Potokari was that the men and boys were separated from the women, driven to a field and shot dead. The Bosniaks who tried to seek refuge in the UN compound were summarily executed and their bodies left lying in the fields and buildings of the compound. 3 decades later, the same, if not worse, is happening in Jabalia and Beit Lahia in northern Gaza. The killing is as organized. Men are being separated from women and are being led off to an unknown fate, some never to be seen again. The streets of the camp are strewn with evidence of summary execution. Bodies of men, women and children with their heads torn off are lying in the entrances to buildings. Evacuees are given the same false promises that Mladic gave. They're promised food and water. Israeli soldiers are filmed handing out sweets to kids. Only a few streets away, bodies litter the alleyways. What is taking place before our eyes is worse than the Nakba in 1948, when 700,000 Palestinians were made refugees. Because what happened then at Deir Yassin or Tantura is happening every night in northern Gaza today. The technology of killing has changed. The intent to leave no survivors behind has not. More than 8,000 Bosnian Muslim men and boys were killed in Srebrenica. There are up to 400,000 Palestinians in northern Gaza, dozens of whom are dying every night in artillery fire, drone strikes, or close-up in summary executions. What is happening in northern Gaza today is qualitatively different to any horror visited on Gaza in the last year. This has been going on for 3 weeks and there's no international pressure on Benjamin Netanyahu to stop. There are no statements of condemnation by any Western leader. 2 cases before the International Criminal Court and the International Court of Justice include some of the most severe allegations of violating international law of modern times, such as genocide, crimes against humanity, and war crimes. However, both remain stalled. 5 months have passed since Karim Khan, the ICC prosecutor, requested an arrest warrant for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. The Hamas leaders wanted on war crime charges, Ismail Haniyeh and Yahya Sinwar, are dead, and according to Israel too, so is Mohammed Deif. That leaves only Israelis facing warrants, and yet none have been issued. The average wait for the pre-trial chamber to approve a warrant requested by the prosecutor is 2 months. But for 5 months, this court has been paralysed while war crimes are being committed daily. Far from facing an arrest warrant, Netanyahu is taking a bow to general applause. At home, Sinwar's death has been taken as vindication of his policy of defying his chief armourer, US President Joe Biden, who told him to stop the war many months ago. Amit Segal, a commentator on Israel TV's Channel 12, said that the success in killing Sinwar was due to Israel not listening to anyone for a whole year and continuing its military strategy, avoiding a ceasefire despite all international pressure. On its 11th tour of the region, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken told Netanyahu that there was a perception that a plan conceived by retired generals to force the population of northern Gaza out by starvation was being enacted. Netanyahu denied this to Blinken, but refused to issue a statement in public saying that. The killings in Gaza are happening because Netanyahu knows that Biden, 2 weeks away from a presidential election, has run out of steam to stop him. One way or another, Netanyahu is finishing the job. But what does that mean? Where does the job end? for the religious Zionists of Jewish Power Party. The end of the war is the eviction of all Palestinians and the total takeover of Gaza by settlers. To emphasize their power, a conference was held on Monday, just 3 kilometers from the Gaza border, and to the sounds of shelling, a goodly number of Likud Knesset members came along too. The settlers' leader, Danielle Weiss, claimed that her organization Nahala had already entered a deal worth millions of dollars for temporary housing units as a preliminary to settlement of the Strip. You will witness how Jews go to Gaza and Arabs disappear from Gaza, Weiss said. Gatherings like these are dismissed by Israel's supporters as colourful cranks, unrepresentative of the state they still call Israel proper. The majority of Israelis reject the plan to reoccupy Gaza, they say. More telling, the presence of Israeli Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir at a conference in which Jews were dancing and celebrating Gaza's collapse were the Likud Knesset members who turned up. Netanyahu denies his plan is to empty Gaza, but his MK, Tali Gottlieb, knows her party leader better. She told Middle East Eye, "I have no doubt he is supporting the settlement of Gaza because it will bring more security, not just for around Gaza, but for Israel." Never have Israelis been so oblivious to the forces they are stirring up in the hearts of Arabs, regardless of background, clan or creed. Opinion in the 2 Arab countries that have signed peace treaties with Israel, Egypt and Jordan, could not be clearer. Muqtada Mansour is an Egyptian politician who called the revolution of 2011 the worst day in Egypt's history. He hates the Muslim Brotherhood and ardently supported Sisi's military coup. And yet he wrote the following about Yahya Sinwar, the Hamas leader killed by Israel. He did not flee to Paris or London, where some wealthy Arabs struggle in gambling halls and nightclubs, spending millions of dollars on their whims, while the children of the brotherly Palestinian people cannot find a drink of water. Rather, he remained in his occupied homeland resisting until he was martyred, the Egyptian wrote. Public opinion is even more fired up in Jordan, where the families of 2 fighters who staged a cross-border attack, injuring 2 Israeli soldiers, were mobbed by well-wishers. For the more Israel takes the lives of students like Shaban al-Dalu, burned alive in the courtyard of a hospital, or Hanan Abu Salami, the 59-year-old woman who is harvesting her olives in the West Bank, the more hundreds and thousands of Sinwars and Qassams there will be to fight back. Karadzic and Mladic are now serving life sentences in The Hague and Parkhurst. This year, the General Assembly adopted a resolution designating 11th of July, the day of the massacre in Srebrenica, as the International Day of Reflection and Commemoration of the 1995 genocide in Srebrenica, to be observed annually. I doubt whether Netanyahu and Gallant will ever be brought to justice in their lives. Maybe they'll have a few questions to answer in the next.
Yeah, so I couldn't pause play on that one still. We've got minimal time. We've got loads of work to do still, yeah? So, like to see the difference between Bosnia and Palestine. The people that committed the genocide in Bosnia are in Parkhurst, the UK jail, and The Hague. I think that's in Amsterdam, Holland, right now. But the other guys, that's remember all four leaders, or 5 leaders, the 3 Hamas leaders and the 2 Israeli leaders were all allegedly gonna get
Wait for that. I have to check.
Yo, alright, so that one time that this dude was actually gonna get the ICJ was supposed to be doing an investigation where they was gonna be handing out arrest warrants for the war crimes committed. That's obviously not gonna happen, especially since the 3 leaders of Hamas are allegedly dead now. So mad still. Yeah, hey, big up we man, like 13, you know. Yeah man, you know, big up the people them in the chat and all that, cause if you want to shout out, you have to put your like number in there still. Yes, We're going to skip to the last part now, yeah? This one is the... I can't remember the guy's name exactly, yeah, but he's an Oxford graduate, and he was actually there at the time of Nigeria's independence. He was one of the officers in the British government that was stationed to be a Nigerian government to conduct, air quotes, fair election. Yeah, but the fair election, yeah, fair as in equal, even election, was really to elect a prime minister that was favourable to the British government. So what we're going to do, we're going to run that, yeah? Yeah, we're going to run that, yeah? Alright. The full... Hey, listen, I put a link to the full clip, yeah, on the community page. Yeah? So... the Fatherland, it's called the Fatherland something. That's the name of the channel. So the Fatherland Project or something like that. Yes, all right. In his own words, he's going to explain to you how the shit goes, yeah? You get me? So you got the shit locked tight, brass knuckles and flashlights. All right. Yeah, man, but we need to make sure, yeah, we learn history as it really happened. Good, bad, or in between, innit? Yeah, so, like, alright, what happened here was, alright, so while I was listening to this here was, I was arguing with a Nigerian guy on TikTok, and he was telling me how, imagine, this dude's trying to tell me how colonization was good for Africa, specifically for Nigeria. And I was like, alright, so what was Nigeria called before colonization? Yeah. And he started spazzing out. And yeah. You hear me? So I was like, well, obviously, colonization wasn't really good for Nigeria, right? Because your economy's ruined. It started off with the Naira being double the pound. And now it's like quay below. The Niger Delta region is the most polluted region in the world. So colonization hasn't been good for Nigeria at all. It's been more detrimental than it has been beneficial. Anything that you could lay out as one of the things as the benefits, you can lay out 10 things that's detrimental to it. You know what I'm saying? Without the bad deals and corruption or the do you know what I'm saying, like skimming off the top and all them sort of things there, these economies should be on par with or above the economies that we live in today. Yeah, so alright, done.
Wait for that. I have to tell you, the British were counting the votes, and the British cannot be trusted. They look after their friends. Loyalty is the big thing for the British, and we were friends with the emirs of the north. We looked on people like Inaharo and Awolowo as rather...
It's mad, isn't it? Like the way that you'd think, like, see, like the arguments that I had today, you would never think that there was a time where the Islamic side of Nigeria was more, I don't know, was more favoured by the British government. That's mad, isn't it? Just think about it today. You just couldn't think about that a situation like that happening. Yeah, but it's mad. Mad how it was still. But let it play.
Dangerous people. They might even be communists. That's ridiculous, actually. There couldn't be communists in 1,000 years. But this was the sort of thing that was being said. And we were, Europeans, were getting a bit...
Pause, you hear that argument there? You hear that argument? I don't know if you caught that, yeah, real quick. The argument was, anyone that was standing up for themselves that they didn't like, they would label them as what? Communist. Ah, they're communist, they're communist. What do the people say today? What is Danny Roscoe's first insult to anyone who has a different opinion to his white supremacist belief? You're a Marxist, you're a Marxist. Yeah? It's like, so you wonder where he got that bait and switch and bait move from, yeah? You're a communist, you're a communist. Yeah, from the man them, from the top boys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, top down. That's the way the shit goes, bruv. You know what I mean? But let it play.
Of the north. We looked on people like Inaharo and Awolowo as rather dangerous people. They might even be communists. That's ridiculous, actually. There couldn't be communists in 1,000 years. But this was the sort of thing that was being said. And we were, Europeans, were getting a bit worried about all this. It wasn't quite the honest, straightforward election that we were hoping for.
Apart from Professor Anderson and Dr. Patrick Wilmot that supported your submission on the rigged election, there were other people who also served in the colonial office in your days. I mean, who opposed to this submission?
All right, so if you listen to some people that have tried to tell us this story before, as far as they're concerned, as soon as independence came, everything was only in Nigeria's hands. And it's Nigerians are the only reason why the things broke down. Yeah. Britain never had no hand, no backhand in any of the reasons. But like the guy's actually telling you here, no, any of the nationalists, yeah, when he says nationalist, yeah, he means British supporting. It doesn't mean like Nigerian nationalists. So when he says nationalists, he means any of the people that was favourable to the British government. He's saying that any of the nationalist members of parliament would get favours in it, special favours. So they was allowed to raise money the way the others weren't allowed to. If the British was counting the votes, so whoever even if you got more votes than them, yeah, they would still say that so and so won. You hear me? Because that's what they're gonna do in this clip anyway. Yeah, but so, but like I was saying, yeah, as far as some other people would like to have you believe, yeah, you know, yeah. Do you want me to give you a clue what I'm talking about? Yeah. Do you want me to give you a clue what I'm talking about? Yeah. Me and my black husband. Yeah. as far as them and the black husband wants to tell us here that once Nigerian independence took place, yeah, it was only Nigerians that ruined the economy. You get me? It was only up to Nigeria and blah 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 and all this, that and the other. Yeah. Well, everyone's argued with them 20 times on the panel and said no. Of course, if it's a former colony, yeah, with resources that people want to take advantage of, obviously you're going to make sure that they've got puppet leaders in place to take advantage of the things and then give little trinkets to make sure that it looks like they're actually doing stuff. Like what happened, didn't it? That's literally what they said happened, didn't it? So, yeah, you'll see anyway, yeah? Watch the whole stuff for yourself anyway, yeah? And like we keep saying, yeah, don't listen to my opinion. Don't listen to anyone else's opinion. Find out what the actual stuff says in his own words. Yeah, this guy was one of the people that was actually in the cabinet sabotaging the independence of Nigeria for Nigerians having someone that was favourable to it being run for the benefit of the citizens and not for the benefit of businesses to extract wealth and whatever from it. Yeah. Also, yeah, let me say about this, yeah, before people start saying, nah, man, and start barling or whatever they always fucking start barling about. Put your nappy on, yeah, and put your bib on so it catches your tears or whatever. Yeah, this guy was actually a good person, right? Well, in terms of bad people trying to run your economy for the benefits of them, because as far as he was trying to do, he was actually wanting to host a fair election where the people got to vote the strongest candidate in, the smartest person in, or the best person for the job, the most qualified individual to take up said role. Yeah, so he was actually trying to facilitate that. Yeah, so the powers that be, yeah, air quotes, yeah, the powers that be, air quotes, are the ones that were saying, no, listen, you mean fair? Take the one, left the one? Yo, Biggs. Take the one, left the one? How you mean? Let it play.
Initially, I was warned of what was going on by my senior officer, a Major Bunker. I didn't know, and I knew that the Governor-General had directed me to take all the office staff of the Ministry of Labour to help Chief Okoti Igbo in politicking in Warri. And this was most irregular, and I refused to do this. Having refused an order, I know what the drill is. You resign. I resign my post. That is the proper thing to do.
Hey, you remember when British politicians used to resign when like, say they either got caught doing something bad or was ordered to do something that they goes against their moral code or would make them look bad at the, you know what I'm saying, at the best of trying to keep the party's name clean. The man them would resign, a lie. Them days are gone, cuz. These men ain't resigning. They said Nigel Farage ain't resigning if you catch him doing nothing. Boris Johnson's got 20 baby mums. Yeah, Boris Johnson's got more baby mums than the man them on any block. How about that? Yeah, try to tell the man them about baby mums. He's paying more child support than all of us put together. Yeah, Boris Johnson's got about 6-7 baby mums, fam. You alright, cuz? Yeah, that's the ones that you know about. Yeah, that's the pussy clout ones that you know about. How you mean? So, yeah, man. So, obviously, like he said, they tried to tell him to go and do some bad mind thing where he's working with or priming a certain person to be able to take up a certain role. And he's like, obviously, that doesn't mean that they're winning the election fairly. So he resigns from his post. And we're right here, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, let it play.
What they did then was rather devious. They persuaded me to withdraw my resignation, and when I did, they sacked me. It didn't go through, but I thought it was a bit low after I'd resigned and was prepared to leave the country. This was not very nice behaviour. They later withdrew this and said that I had been of some service to the state, and actually commended me for what I had done, and said I could leave Nigeria with splendid testimonials, and we shook hands on this. And this was done with the recognition of the Deputy Governor-General, Sir Ralph Grey. And then I left Nigeria the first time and took up a job as a personnel officer, a very big job, with the Esso refinery. And then government came after me, declared that I was a traitor, and I had betrayed the British people, ought to be imprisoned. And I lost that job. And then they came to me again and said it's all been a big mistake. Dreadful mistake. I'm a jolly decent chap, you know, Oxford chap. And they put me on a plane straight back to Nigeria, where I'd make up for the time I'd been away. There was a great deal of good work for me to do, and we fell for this. We shouldn't have gone back, but we did.
Now, if you recall what you said about the role of the Governor General and the attitude of the British government in particular, regarding the fear that Awolowo, Okotie-Eboh, and the lot of them from the south are dangerous. Is there a particular reason? Why the fear from the British government? Is it that they don't want to release or relinquish Nigeria? They still want to control Nigeria?
They knew that the North would do as they said after independence. If it had...
Yeah, that. They said they know the North would do as they said after independence. It don't matter whether it was going to be the North, the South, East, West. Whoever was going to do as they said after independence was going to be the people that they promoted as the people that should be running the place. As the people that should be at the top, as the ruling class, as the people that are able to make deals with multinational companies or whatever. You see that there? My man said he got a big job with Esso refineries. Yeah. More pagans just withdrawing the man's resources. Yeah, because. Yeah. Bad. Trust me, whoever's most favorable to the so-and-so was the ones that was going to get favored, right? That's the divide and conquer shit, like, everyone knows, isn't it, like? And how the shit goes. The divide and conquer shit goes that if, you hear me? If you're more favorable to what we're doing, we'll help you out. You scratch my back. You know what I'm saying? I'll scratch yours or whatever. Both back, both, and you know what I'm saying? Like, the rest is history still. So, yeah, man. Obviously, it's not good for any of the people that do the collaborating or whatever. But, as we know, there's pagans out there all the time, cuz. Yeah, trust me. You stand there thinking that all these people are your friends or whatever. Or these people actually care about what you're trying to do. Yeah? Let the channel be a lesson to you, cuz, yeah? Do you think how much people used to jump on the panel or whatever? But actually, how many people cared about what we was actually trying to do on the panel? Or just jumped on the panel to do what they wanted to do? Huh? Yo. Yeah. You hear me? Yeah, man. I lie? But anyway, man, go on, man. Let it play.
The North would just, because it was their habit, they liked the British, whereas the nationalists were an unknown factor. Actually, when they took the flag down and hoisted the Nigerian flag, not one of the major nationalist politicians was there. They weren't even on the platform. This was... You
heard that? Why weren't they there? Because, obviously, when it was under the rule, yeah, they was just able to do what they want a bit more easier. You know what I'm saying? Like, right now, they're like, right, this independence thing means that we're going to have to do some shit and just skim off the top and round the sides and blah, 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 blah. You know, because, but, boy... Let it play. Alright, I'm gonna let it play out, yeah? And then we out of it still. But yeah, man.
Incredible. These were the people who had sought independence. The people in the North didn't want independence. They didn't want the British to leave. So this was a farce. And for most Europeans who were very close and watching this, we were disgusted. We thought this really had been manipulated, this election. It was unworthy. It was unworthy of the British people, this. This was no honest, straightforward thing that you would expect Britain, the mother of parliaments, to do. This was cheap and low and criminal. And I opposed it. And I opposed it then, and I've opposed it ever since. And I'm telling you the truth. And I was warned, if I told you this state secret, my life could be forfeit.
Earlier on, you said the British government...
Yeah, that. You think it's a joke, cuz? Like, obviously, man, you can't just come out here and just start spilling your guts about our bad mind shit, brother. You alright, cuz? We'll bust your bumper clad. You get it? How you mean? One big poof in your head. But the thing boof in your head. Man. Let it play.
Government wanted the North in alliance with...
Wait, hold on. We can make it 25. Right now, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Hey, cuz, listen. You know what I'm saying? You think I'll give a fuck if there's like 1 person or 1,000 people watching, cuz? Yeah, man would be doing shows when man wants to do shows. If man don't want to do shows, man won't do a show or whatever, innit? Yeah, so... You know what I mean? I mean. Hold on, this person's still there, man. My guy, yo, so let it play.
Region, either with the Yorubas or with the Igbos.
But
without which they cannot.
They can't do it. This
rule the country.
The problem was that Awolowo was a highly principled man.
Okay.
You didn't talk to Awolowo about squalid deals and fixing things. Awolowo was not that kind of person. If you read his books, this man was a world statesman. And his young lieutenant, Chief Enaharo, was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. However, they did do a deal with Zik, Dr. Azikiwe, from the East. Dr. Azikiwe, there was this big problem in Nigeria. It's the same big problem in America and in Britain. How do you get funds to fight elections? The candidates in Nigeria had no money, but they did have marketing boards, which were a kind of semi-nationalized industry. And they borrowed money from the marketing boards. But there was a suspicion that Dr. Azikiwe, who has formed his own bank, the African Continental Bank, was actually bankrupt. But he was borrowing very large sums of money from the marketing boards and not necessarily repaying the loans. We knew this. We had a great secret service. All the politicians' phones were tapped. All the politicians' mail was opened. Everything that any major politician did in Nigeria, we knew in hours. We watched. We knew.
Yo, so you hear that? The man them's telling you about this, that, and the other, yeah, and you acting like this. You're talking like it's some spy movie. I know this shit. Nah, that's not really happened. You sold each other, black sold black people, and all that stupid stuff like that. Yeah. Facts over feelings, fam. You get it? So just chill out. Let it play.
All that was going on.
Are you saying, in essence, that Dr. Azikiwe took money?
He was blackmailed by the British to do our bidding. We told Dr. Azikiwe that he could go to prison if an inquiry was carried out into his bank and his financial circumstances. However, we would not want to be vindictive if Dr. Ezekwe was cooperative in helping forward the plans that we had made in the best interests of Nigeria. Dr. Ezekwe has nothing in common with the northern politicians.
Yeah, that. Yeah, how slick that is. Yeah. When he says the best interest of Nigeria, it means the best interest of the British, what are they called? Not just the government. Investments. You get me? But things that man's investments, man. So, you know, let it.
He loathed the northern politicians. But Dr. Ezekwe went north and did as he was told. And what he was promised was this. The real power, effective power, would be in the hands of the northern emirs. However, it would look great if the president was Dr. Ezekwe and he was given a field marshal's uniform and an admiral's uniform. He asked, please, could he have a row of medals? But they said, well...
He asked, please, can I have some medals? Yo, the man that they put in power, that wasn't really in power. Bro, easy cuts. Imagine that. In your own country. Can you imagine that in the UK? Yeah, Jupiter and Wendy and Baz would be going mad. Yeah, they'll box over the denture. You know the denture cup, the cup of water that's holding the glasses. That would have got boxed off the side. No, we ain't doing it.
No, that was a bit difficult, to get the medals. So when the ambassadors started arriving, he was known to be asking people from foreign countries, perhaps they had a medal for his uniform. We thought this was terrible, but it was said that this happened. He was very vain, and for a time he functioned as first the Governor General, and then when Nigeria became a republic, as the president. But he had no power. And when he did try to tell the army, he said, I'm the field marshal, the army has got to do with this. They said, hey, you're just a ceremonial figure. You have no power. The prime...
I mean, that after Nigeria's independence, it was quite a bloody time, yeah? So that's definitely one of the main reasons why. Got a puppet in power. Army ain't listening to my man. Definitely going to be coup season, right? Man. And the people that's all in power, their interest lie elsewhere. Where? Not in the people. Making the place better. Not on no Thomas Sankara mode. You get me, cuz? How you mean? Abraham Traore and all them guys there. Come on, man. Shit. Like, you know what's mad, yeah? Like, all the people that want their country back and all that sort of stuff there, you should be championing other economies being fixed, and so the people will want to go back to their countries and rebuild or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so you're definitely going to get your country back, right? It's mad, isn't it? It's like, you just want someone to be able to point out when shit goes bad. But man are going to hug man when the shit's going good. Wow, that's crazy, fam.
Minister Balewa gives us our orders. So there was a feeling then that there was going to be trouble. And then it was because the Awolowo and the Action Group had become the official opposition. What we British wondered, how could they win? Didn't count for that, he didn't wait for that. I have to tell you, the British were counting the votes. And The British cannot be trusted. They look after their friends. Loyalty is the big thing for the